Rama Rama Puppodu. Hope all are in good health, feeling very relaxed, peaceful, and happy always. Now let's continue with chapter 10, part 3, Goa Policeman Smitten. Before starting, Ramdas made Ramcharandas understand that no purpose will be served by his accompanying him, but he was as stubborn as ever. Ramdas reached Mangalore in the evening, of course, followed by Ramcharandas. It was decided to start by the steamboat, leaving Mangalore the next day for Bombay. From Kasaragod, arrangement had already been made for Ramdas' boat ticket. He advised Ramcharandas to stay on the kadrihill and devote his time to meditation and communication with God. But Ramcharandas would not submit to the advice. He left Ramdas in the night with the object of collecting the amount necessary for his boat fare. At Sitaram Rao's, where he had halted, Ramdas' aunt, by the former life coming to know the situation regarding Ramcharandas, paid off 20 rupees for his boat fare. She pressed this amount on Ramdas, asking him to hand it over to Ramcharandas, who she fully believed would meet him at Mangalore port. The mother was a kind, pure, and noble soul. Next day, he looked for Ramcharandas at the harbour, but could not find him. He got into the steam launch and, crossing the river, reached the boat and went abroad. What was the first thing that met his gaze as he stepped on the deck? Our ubiquitous friend, Ramcharandas, was quietly sitting in a corner on a bench with his telltale tiger skin. Ramdas went and sat beside him. The Yogananda had disappeared. Swamiji, I came by an earlier launch, he said, smiling. Ramdas then handed to him the money presented by the kind mother. The boat sailed and reached the port of Marbugao the next morning. There was a halt of about 2 hours at this spot. Meanwhile, some Goa policemen entered the ship for inspection. One of these, while passing on the deck, cast a casual glance at Ramdas. Ramdas was a deck or third-class passenger on the boat. The sight of Ramdas seemed to have produced an extraordinary effect on him. He stopped and, leaning against the railing opposite Ramdas, began to gaze intently on him. The policeman could hardly take his eyes off Ramdas, who was also watching his strange behavior. About half an hour later, he came to Ramdas. "Follow me, both of you," he said. They obeyed. He escorted them directly to a Hindu restaurant in the harbour, ordered tea and eatables for both. While he sat on the bench in front observing them, he paid the charges of the tiffin and they followed him back to the deck. Except for the first few words that he spoke, he was perfectly reticent. Thereafter, again, until the steamer whistle sounded, announcing departure from the port, the policeman was quietly looking at Ramdas from his position by the rails. He was somewhat disturbed when he had to leave the boat. With many a backward glance, he finally jumped down on the dock. The steamboat left the port. Intimation had been sent from Mangalore about the date of Ramdas' arrival in Bombay. In Bombay, he found himself in the blessed home of Sanjeev Rao. Blessed because both Sanjeev Rao and his wife were embodiments of love. They simply deluged him with their overflowing love. Many neighbors in the chawl and others from outside came to see him and engaged him in talks on the greatness of God and his name. Evenings were spent in devotional music. Throughout his stay at Sanjeev Rao's, he enjoyed the bliss of pure ecstasy. Time to leave Bombay at last came. He started with Ramcharandas by night train and reached angarstation in the afternoon next day. At the station, he was greeted and embraced with exceeding joy by Govind Joshi, who was waiting with milk for him. After partaking of the milk, they proceeded on foot to Anjagaon. Before sunset, they reached the outskirts of the village, where in advance hundreds of the village people were eagerly looking forward for his arrival. He was taken in possession to the house of Madhav Rao, who welcomed him with rapturous delight. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppodu.